Hello and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Our focus is on the North Central today, but first, our top stories. The Senate has approved the 1.77 trillion naira loan request of President Bola Tinubu after a voice vote. The plenary presided over by the Deputy Senate President Baru Jibrin approved the loan after the Committee on Local and Foreign Debts presented the Senate Committee's report. The request, which was submitted by the President, is part of a fresh external borrowing plan to partially finance the 9.7 trillion naira budget deficit for the 2024 fiscal year. The Nigeria Governors Forum has condemned the rising insecurity in the country, especially the recent spate of attacks and killings in the northwest. The governor of Kaduna State, who addressed journalists after the meeting of governors in the nation's capital, Abuja, said the NGF will collaborate and continue to work with the federal government to address the challenges. He added that the NGF will soon come up with a position on the ongoing tax reforms by the federal government as well. Meanwhile, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who was also at that meeting to brief the governors on the progress made in the ongoing constitution amendment, told journalists that the lawmakers will soon be embarking on regional and zonal visitations to get the full buy-in of the state houses of assembly.
Without representing units, there is no Nigeria. And if you ignore them, you have the wheel of progress towards realizing our objective in regards to this constitutional review will be slowed down. And we consider it important to come and engage with them, to bring them up to speed, taking them through our work plan, what we have achieved so far, and where we are headed. And we've had a robust discussion. And I must say, the governors made beautiful contributions, and they are in support of the constitutional review. We also let them know, inform them that we're going to be visiting their states and the geopolitical zones to address the opinion of the public in their various zones with regards to the thematic area of the constitution that we're looking at.
No, tax reforms have not been concluded. We started the deliberation at this meeting, but the consultation is still ongoing. And I have no doubt in my mind in our next meeting we should be able to come out with a position, but we are still discussing. And as you are aware, we have been working closely with all the relevant security agencies. And this insecurity issue is not only in the northwest or northeast, it's all over Nigeria. We all face various security challenges, but we are working closely with the relevant security agencies, and we are very hopeful that it's a matter of time. All these issues will be over by the grace of God.
The former Minister of Petroleum, Diziani Alison Madueke, is set to amend a suit before Justice Iyang Eko of the Federal High Court Abuja, challenging the order obtained by the EFCC for final forfeiture of her seized assets. At the resumed hearing, no counsel appeared for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Justice Eko asked her counsel if he had received processes from the anti-graft agency, and he responded in the affirmative. Justice Eko subsequently adjourned the matter until February the 17th, 2025 for hearing the motion to amend their originating process. The executive chairman of the Benue State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Grace Adagba, has given a 2-day deadline to contractors handling the one-story building project to comply with their contract specifications or face termination. Dr. Adagba gave the directive during the commencement of a monitoring exercise of all ongoing projects implemented under the Universal Basic Education Commission, SUBEB 2022 to 2023, marching ground to ensure contractors comply with the implementation standards.
The two-day project monitoring exercise being carried out by Universal Basic Education Board under the counterpart funding program of the Universal Basic Education Commission kicks off in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Work on one of the 13-story building classrooms at the LGEA Kancho has reached an advanced stage with pillars and block work ongoing.
I appreciate the present governor, Ubek, and the Subeb for finding us worthy to bring such a project. We appreciate them. And we are praying that God should give them more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so that they will do more for the people of Benue State and the society at large.
The team was not happy with the progress made at some of the project sites and warned some contractors to comply with design specifications within 48 hours, while others were asked to return to site in 2 days or have their contracts revoked.
I would say that the sites we saw in Boko were very good. The contractor is doing very well. Some of the sites, the contractors are not complying with our instructions. And what we are saying here at this site particularly is that we are giving them 48 working hours to effect the corrections or we revoke the contract. It's not about giving them architect instructions again because we have exhausted them.
The team also visits LGA primary schools in Gadi Layout and Wurukum to see the level of work done before heading to Naka Road for the fencing project of another school. Both give their verdict, especially as enrollment surges at Benue public schools.
On a scale of 5, we say that 4.7 of the contractors are on site and they are doing well, and we're expecting that they are going to meet up the deadline we've given them. We believe that by the time all these projects are completed, especially the story buildings, they are going to add value to the already existing structures. They are going to curtail the high population or enrollment that we're having right now. You may recall that 2 months ago we carried out an enrollment drive campaign in the state. As we're going around, we've seen that has created a lot of impact. We've seen a lot of enrollment, and we believe that these new structures are going to help in curtailing that enrollment that is upcoming.
And so far we have gone round, and I am quite impressed with the level of work, the quality of work that I have seen in the projects we have gone round. And to say the impact, of course, we know that enrollment, just as the EC had said, we had gone around the 3 senatorial zones and we've carried out enrollment drive. And from recent activities that were undertaken, we have seen that the enrollment drive has really given rise to an increase or a surge in the number of learners we have. So especially for the story buildings, it's going to suck in a lot of the those that have been moved or moved as a result of one insecurity or the other. So it's really going to impact positively on the Benue child.
The second day of the monitoring exercise takes the team to Vendekia local government area. The acting Torjetra in Yeyong Achaku is grateful for the ongoing development in the education sector of his domain.
I see various projects, school building springing up. Some are even upstairs. I can see also fences. Some schools are being fenced. This is the first time I've ever seen schools being fenced. And I can see some who are to supply chairs. What you can see, one of them is working near me. And I can see that he's doing quality work. That's why I'm going to show the team.
Several other schools were inspected by the team as a suburb executive chairman gives further orders to all contractors to erect project signboards within 48 hours.
The Kwara State Governor, Abdulrazaq, has visited sites of some of his legacy projects, including the Civil Service Clinic and talk of the Town Innovation Hub, which are receiving finishing touches ahead of its public unveiling. The governor said the objectives for the huge projects are to build an ecosystem that makes Kwara a go-to place in the country and build an economy that benefits the people and further alleviate their suffering. He was responding to a media inquiry regarding the huge investment on the project, such as the Garment Factory International Conference Center, the Visual Arts Center, Innovation Hub, Film Factory, Shea Butter Factory, Patigi Motel, remodeled Civil Service Clinic, and a multi-story courthouse, as well as a few others.
Been a lot of emphasis on primary healthcare by both federal and state governments and local governments in terms of making sure we deliver good health services to the people. At the tertiary level, governors are talking to themselves. We're doing peer review. Across the nation, there's deepening of tertiary healthcare system. That's the same thing we're doing here by expanding the civil service clinic to be a major reference center. We have a long way to go, but this is a major step we're taking here now. And it's a big investment. Equipment is going to be very, very expensive, especially when you look at CT scan machines, X-ray machines, MRI machines, and so on. We're talking billions now. So those are major investments we need to do. And the journey began since, but we just need to strengthen what we're doing.
As part of efforts to ensure safer waterways, the National Inland Waterways Authority is appealing for more funding. The Managing Director, Mr. Bola Oyemabamiji, made the appeal in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, while hosting the House of Representatives Committee on Waterways. He adds that the lack of adequate cash is hampering the operations of the agencies in fulfilling its core mandate of ensuring safer waterways in the country.
It's an oversight visit by the House of Representatives Committee on Inland Waterways as members of the committee engage the management of the National Inland Waterways Authority in Kogi State.
My name is Mesa J. Ibrahim Jafet.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the agency briefs the committee on the challenge of inadequate funding.
This operation is intended to secure timely financial disbursement for optimal performance. Our continuous efforts to optimize our IDR streams will remain a priority. It is worthy to note that while capital dredging is key to performance indicators for the authority in 2024, no money was budgeted for this project, and in the 2024 capital expenditure.
A PowerPoint presentation of the activities of the agency in the last 12 months is presented by the technical advisor.
The management took upon itself to ensure that sensitization is key on whatever we do. And this was pivoted by the activities that happened in Abuja, where the commissioners of transportation met, among other stakeholders. The Honorable Chairman was also there. This particular meeting came up with a draft of a communique that is ready with the federal ministry and will soon be unveiled.
After the presentation, the issue of frequent accidents on the nation's waterways dominates discussions.
Every year, the rate of boat accidents keep on increasing. So I don't know what mechanism I put in place, even though I have seen the sensitization and what have you. But the point is that even welcoming, most of the users hardly use life jackets. So, and I think if that is enforced, it will also improve in terms of saving lives.
Another thing that gives us a bigger problem on our waterway is overloading of these boats, together with traffic in the night. You can imagine a wooden boat that ordinarily is supposed to carry more than 30, and we carried 150, 200 people.
Chairman of the committee then reels out the essence of the visit.
It is imperative to consider how these challenges can be addressed to enhance safety, efficiency, and economic viability. The strategic importance of inland ports cannot be overstated, especially in fostering internal and regional trade and serving as a vital link in our national logistic chain.
The abandoned Jamata port in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, also attracts the attention of the committee.
And generally, we are saying that the present MD Niwa is actually living up to tax. And then we are here right now. This is the site of the Jamata port, Kogi, Lokoja precisely. And we have seen that this project has been lying here for quite a number of years. And we are saying that the government should, as a matter of priority, give the necessary attention to this project.
As the team departs Lokoja, the National Inland Waterways Authority is optimistic of better funding in the next year.
Thank you for staying with us. Critical infrastructure projects being implemented by other sectors have been identified as factors affecting provision of sustainable urban and rural water supply, as well as improved access to safe water, sanitation and hygiene services in rural, small towns and urban areas. In addressing the challenges associated with these various subsector projects, the Plateau State Ministry of Water Resources and Energy, through the Sustainable Urban and Rural Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene SOWASH program, has organized an environmental and social clinic initiative for critical stakeholders to fill the gaps that pose a risk to environment and communities.
The Plateau State Ministry of Water Resources and Energy, through the Sustainable Urban and Rural Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene program, in its commitment to ensure that all water-related projects within the state are conducted in an environmentally and socially sustainable manner, has embedded environmental and social management plans in all water-related sub-projects being implemented in the state. Various stakeholders present at the clinic include personnel from the local government areas, monitoring and evaluation officers from ministries and agencies, technical advisor to the governor on project monitoring and Result Delivery Office, chief executives of Just Metropolitan Development Board, the Environmental and Sanitation Agency, and other related agencies.
Under the Sustainable Urban Rural Water Supply and Sanitation,
Program Manager of the clinic, Jonathan Mallon, expressed concern on the dangers posed by the subsectors to access safe water supply, which requires that all water-related projects within the state are conducted in an environmentally and socially sustainable manner.
The first objective is to institutionalize environmental and social clinic. What do we mean by clinic? The clinic involves a lot of mechanisms that must be considered in project design, in project implementation. And that is what we will be x-raying in the next, in the coming 2 days, that these mechanisms will be put in place when we are planning our programs. So this will provide ongoing support and guidance on environmental and social issues related to developmental projects.
An environmentalist who is also a resource person at the clinic initiative, Simon Joshua, highlights the importance of the capacity building program.
Once the officers that are the cream of the civil service are properly, their capacity is built, various projects can come from different sources, either environment, water, resources, works, and all of that. This has to do with water. And so, do we need small-scale dams to enhance water capacity in the state, or do we need infrastructures that? And so, in all of these are projects that require World Bank support.
The Environmental and Social Clinic program is aimed to provide a range of services, including environmental education and awareness, sustainable livelihoods and community development, climate change mitigation and adaptation, and social justice and human rights, towards ensuring that there is safe water supply in the state.
Textile workers and employers, as well as labor leaders, believe it's possible for the country to build a more resilient and sustainable industrial sector that drives long-term prosperity. At the 36th Annual National Education Conference of the National Union of Textile Garment and Tailoring Workers of Nigeria at the Michael Imodu National Institute for Labor Studies in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. The group said the establishment of clear policies, promotion of innovation and economic growth benefits will make all this a reality.
Members of the National Union of Textile, Garment and Tailoring Workers of Nigeria across the country are here in Ilorin for their annual National Education Conference to deliberate on how to further be abreast of their works. Speakers at the conference believe it's essential that the government, employers and labor work together to achieve sustainable industrial development.
Comrades,
the Kwara State Chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Muritala Olayinka, echoes some of these thoughts, especially the fact that workers should be carried along by government in its policies.
This is a great opportunity to learn and embrace new skills in labor relations, social dialogue that will rescue this sector from the wood. There is no gain overstressing the critical condition of this early sector. Several factories are no more. Our people are losing jobs. And therefore, the center needs to brace up, especially at this current economic situation we find ourselves. Comrades, as you all used to say, that our destiny lies in our hands.
Meanwhile, the Director General of Michael Imodu National Institute for Labor Studies, Issa Aremu, was more specific about the issues he wanted dealt with. He reiterates that revival of the textile industry and other comatose industries is key, as importation is a major challenge bedeviling the industrial sector.
We need to now work together to see how we can revive the industry. And I've told the President that we need to reconnect back to the federal government so that we raise the campaign for the revival of the industry. But comrade, President is like any other president. President is president for all. There are the good, the bad. I think those of us who are good, we must also be on duty to keep on reminding the president of his mandate. Because if you don't go to the president, smugglers will also be around him, those who are importing. So I think together with the Textile Employers Association, we should work together. And I think we need to have a formal courtesy call, to remind the president of his promise on how to revive the industry.
The former labor leaders believe that textile workers should complement President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda with respect to poverty eradication, economic growth, sustainable industrialization, job creation, access to capital, and improvement of living standard.
Finally, on the program, the Defense Headquarters says troops operating in the northeast have neutralized the terrorist commander through a well-coordinated attack. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja, says the aim of the armed forces in the ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency war remains to find and destroy all terrorists and their cohorts wherever they may be hiding in the country. General Buba added that 115 other terrorists have also been neutralized as troops continue to actively target their logistic bases and other structures that have affiliation to terror groups. That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.